You know how there's that one kid in class who just thinks that he's actually the main character? Well, today we got a story time of this cringy kid who he just embodies main character syndrome. That's the best way I can describe it. This kid comes into class and actually thinks that he's like the anime protagonist. And let me just say that you may not be physically or mentally prepared or spiritually prepared for the level of cringe in this video. So please brace yourself. Honestly, brace yourself. Leave a like on the video to claim your free nothing. It's a pretty good deal. Subscribe if you're new and enjoy storytime videos. And with that all being said, let's jump into it. Don't say I didn't warn you. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Cameron. By the way, you can submit stories as well. Just go to my Instagram, @ConnorPugs. Follow me in there and then send me a DM message. Anyways, right? So we're going to call the subscriber Cameron. So there's a kid who we're going to call main character kid. That's going to be his name. No, we'll call him Ben. We'll bring back the whole call the secondary character Ben thing I used to do a lot. Anyways, right, so this kid, Ben, in Cameron's class, was always a little bit on the dramatic side. Cringe is kind of the only word I can really use. I'm not going to give you a big background. We're just going to jump right into it. So one day, Cameron was kind of just chilling in class, kind of just sitting there, whatever. And that's when Ben, the main character kid, comes in. He's like, like he's very clearly trying to get as much attention as possible by like huffing and puffing. And, Cameron's like, do not sit next to me. Don't sit next to me. Because there was an open seat. There were a bunch of open seats, but there was an open seat next to Cameron. And Cameron's like, oh my God, can you please sit anywhere else but next to me? Please. So anyways, right, this is almost like, when you're in an airplane, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but when people are walking down and you're sitting in a seat and there's seats next to you, you don't know who's going to sit next to you. Let me just say that during a very long plane ride, sitting next to a baby or someone who is maybe would have been better off with 2 seats instead of 1, if you know what I mean, it's probably not the greatest experience. So I don't know about you, but you know how you're watching like people walk down and then someone walks down, you're like, oh, no, dude, no. Anyways, right, so Cameron's sitting in class, watching as the main character kid, Ben, is like, and is like walking towards an empty seat. And Cameron's like, please, dude, please choose any empty seat except the one next to me. And sure enough, right, Cameron started to realize that, no, this kid is coming right next to him because the kid was, like, passing by all these empty seats, was making a beeline straight for Cameron's seat. So he's like, okay, like, we're going to have to deal with this, whatever, right? I'll just figure it out. So the kid sits down next to Cameron and is like, right, just doing, like, sighing super loud. Extremely clear, he's just kind of looking for some attention right here, which Cameron's like, okay, I'll bite, whatever. So the kid sits down next to him and is like, I can't believe the world we live in right now. And Cameron's like, what? And the cringy kid's like, I can't believe the world we live in right now. I mean, this school, man. Cameron's like, I do not want to interact with you. I do not want to talk to you. I don't even want to be in your presence anymore. And at the very least, I do not want to know what you're talking about. But obviously, Cameron is not rude. He is just like, okay, man. He's like, yeah, sucks. And Ben is like, yeah, man, just school. It's so sigma-phobic. And Ben's just like, sigma-phobic? It kind of gives him like a look. And Ben's like, yeah, typical bot like you would know what sigma-phobic is. So basically, sigma-phobic is when a place or a person is very anti-sigma males like myself. So they're alpha males, but there's also sigma males. They're very attractive and everyone loves them, but they're just lone wolves at the same time. I'm like the popular loner, some could say. And this school is very anti-popular loner, aka sigma-phobic. And Cameron knew that, like, Ben was up to some nonsense. He was definitely off his top on something, but he didn't realize it was this bad. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber Cameron's like, okay, man. Yeah, this school is really sigma-phobic. Guys, please don't ever call yourself an alpha male or a sigma male. That stuff it's cringe. Don't say that. Don't be like anyone who's like, guys, I'm the sigma. No, 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 no. You're not at your stop. Please get some help. I don't know. Yeah, so sure enough, right, Ben is like, so sigma-phobic. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I was just like I was just chatting. I was just like, doing my thing, whatever. And like, you know, the teacher came over and was like, are you okay? And I was like, what? And the teacher was like, you're not smelling so good. Are you showering at home? And I was like, dude, freak off. It's my natural smell. It's a new scent I'm musking up. And Cameron's like, oh, God. Like, I knew this kid was bad. But, yeah, Cameron had not had a lot of interactions with Sigma Kid, a.k.a. Ben, a.k.a. main character anime villain kid. But he kind of just assumed kid was, like, a little cringe or whatever. But he didn't know it was, like, this deeply seeped in the cringe. You know what I mean? Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber is kind of just like, okay, man. So yeah, basically what happened was a teacher walked by the Sigma kid and just was like, wow, this kid smells terrible. So kind of was just doing a little, like, friendly hygiene checkup. And the Sigma kid is like, so Sigma-phobic, but, like, whatever. And so class starts. Thank God. Like, Cameron's like, thank God my teacher came in. This is, like, the only time he's been like, yes, I'm starting school. I'm starting class. About time. Like, obviously, he's he's a little bit more like, oh, man, like, school starting. This is the first time he's actually like, yes, finally, let me learn some boring material. Perfect. But it didn't help. It really didn't help. Because, like, a couple minutes in, the Sigma kid, Ben, leans over. He's like, yo, do you want to see me whiz up Caroline over there? And, obviously Cameron's like, no, dude, I don't want to see. I mean, okay, I'm not going to lie. Part of him wanted to see it because he knew it would be a disaster dumpster fire explosion fest, right? Part of him wanted to see it for that reason. But the rest of him didn't want to be part of it, like didn't want to see it because he knew somehow he would be associated. He knew that he would be associated by like just being near him in proximity. He knew it would be a problem. Yeah, so sure enough, not Ben. Cameron's like, like whispering like, no, dude, like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm sure, like, I don't think now's the right time. I'm sure she'd love to talk to you otherwise. Complete cap, by the way, but he was trying to be nice. And he also was just really just not trying to see this. And the Sigma kid's like, dude, don't even worry about it. Like, watch The Wiz. And he's like, no, dude, no. So yeah, sure enough, the Sigma kid, right, starts to like scoot his desk over to this girl. And I think he was scooting his desk over so that he'd be more discreet instead of like standing up. But this was like a metal desk on a hard floor. So it was like, it was like the loudest sound ever. And the teacher like turned around and was like, hey, like Ben, like can you quiet down? He was like, sorry. And then looked over at Cameron. She's like, she Sigma-phobic doesn't want me to whiz. And Cameron's like, no, stop associating with me. Stop it now. Like, I don't know. Cameron's just like, oh, jeez. So, yeah, eventually I kind of want to become the whiz kid. But, yeah, the Sigma kid eventually comes over to this girl, Caroline. And Caroline is like, it's almost like someone like, has like a gun and shoots you and you can see the bullet in slow motion. She saw it in slow motion, right? Very slowly, Ben was coming over to her, the Sigma kid. I mean, she probably could smell him from a mile away, but like he was slowly creeping in. He was slowly coming in. She's probably like, oh God, help me, please. Someone help me, please. Yeah, so eventually the main character kid makes his way over. He's like, what's up, Caroline? What's good? And Caroline looks over. It's like, we're in class. Can you quiet down? And the whiz kid's like, no, don't listen to the sigmophobic teachers. She's like, And at this point, Cameron's watching the whole thing. It's just like, oh, geez, like, can he stop? Can he please stop? This is so bad. And he's like, so, what's new with you? So, did you hear about all the girls I was getting with? Which is like, dude, why would you say this? But first of all, it's a lie. Second of all, why would you even say it, even if it was true? So I think like at this point, like I want to call him the whiz kid, the main character kid is Ben is trying to like be like, oh, so many ladies love me, and since girls like me, you should like me too, which in theory is not like wrong, that like if a lot of girls are interested in a guy, that's going to give him some kind of perceived, oh, like other people like him, like then he probably is something cool, right? You know what I mean? But you would never go about it by saying, I am with so many women, please, take my word for it, but you should like me too. Like, that's the worst way you could possibly go about it. And at this point, right, Cameron's watching this just train wreck of a video, of an interaction with another human being, just so bad. Yeah, so you thought that this was bad, but not the cringy kid. Sorry, there's so many names, right? The main character kid is about to get so much worse. He's about to take this terrible interaction and turn it into a massive public embarrassment. So if you thought it's been bad so far, you need to prepare yourself. But if you made it this far into the video, comment main character down below. That'll be the secret phrase. I guess it's 2 words, so not the secret word. That'll be the secret word of the day. I'll try and heart a bunch of comments to say that, to say thank you. As always, if you use Spotify or have a Spotify account, consider also listening to these stories on Spotify. The link is in the description, or you can just look up Connor Pugs, and I got a pretty prominent podcast on there. If you want to submit a story, the best way to go ahead and do that is go to my Instagram. So go to Instagram, look up Connor Pugs. Got a verification check on there, got some followers on there. Follow me, and then send me a DM message of your story. I also have a Twitter account. I also have a TikTok account. I also have a Snapchat. Those are all in the description. If you use any of those platforms, you should follow me on those. Finally, let's get back to the story. And I just want to remind you, prepare yourself for the cringe. It's about to be bad. So yeah, sure enough, Cameron's sitting there, completely mortified at what he's seeing, because this is bad, guys. Like, this is bad. And sure enough, right, the kid, he just keeps going. He's like, yeah, so like, dude, I'm always whizzing the ladies, and like, so you should like me or something. And Caroline is just like looking straight forward, probably thinking like, if I don't interact with him, he's going to go away, right? Yeah, so sure enough, at this point, right, the Sigma kid is actually starting to get a little bit mad. Like, Ben is actually starting to get like a little bit frustrated. He's like, hello, Earth to Caroline right now, I'm speaking to you. And she kind of turns, is like, yes. He's like, wow, so it looks like you're sigmophobic too. And now he's like talking really loud, and the teacher's like, Ben, can you settle down? And Ben's like, no. And he stands up, and the whole class turns to look at him. And at this point, Cameron's like, no, dude, stop. Why? He's like, dude. And sure enough, right, Ben stands up, and he's like, you're all sigmophobic. You don't understand what it's like to be the lone wolf, the popular loner. You don't understand it. Me and my wolf pack is just me. And this school is so sigmophobic, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the whole class is looking at him. They're all like, And the teacher's like, Ben, I need you to quiet down. I need you to sit down. This is the last time you're allowed to have one of these interruptions. Because Ben was not the quietest kid ever. He would spout off about random stuff. And the teacher's like, Ben, you do this too often. Like, I'm giving you one more chance. I'm going to send you to the principal's office for disrupting the class, and not just, disrupting the class, but also taking away from everyone else's learning time. Whatever, right? And Ben's like, no, I will not step down to authority. You know what? I'm the Sigma, you're the teacher. Sigma outranks teacher, so you listen to me here. And then everyone in the class is like, yo. Yeah, so it's a little tense because, oh man, imagine going up to your teacher and being like, I'm a Sigma male and you're a teacher and you should listen to me because Sigma outranks teacher. Like, it's just so cringe and awful, right? So the teacher is kind of like a mixture of like angry because Ben is being really disrespectful and also like mad confused because he's like, Sigma? What? He's like probably thinking back to his calculus days in college with like summations. He's like, what? Sigma? Or some kind of fraternity stuff. Like, what? Is that like, are there fraternities in high school? What? Yeah, so sure enough, right, the Sigma kid is like, okay, I'm going to make a list of demands, and since I'm the Sigma, you all need to listen. Number 1, stop being Sigmaphobic. Number 2, I'm going to smell however I want. I've been mixing with lots of scents recently, and I'm going to get it down. 3, if I am whizzing you up, please be respectful of the whiz. And he, like, turns to Caroline, he's like, Caroline, I'm talking to you right now. And, like, the teacher's like, Ben, you're done. Like, you're getting out of the class. And Ben's like, okay, well, I'm the Sigma, and I say no, so I'm not going anywhere. And Cameron's almost starting to have convulsions with the cringe. Bro's about to have a cringe seizure. Bro's about to have a cringe attack and fall on the floor and die. Like, it's really bad. And the whole class is a mixture of mortified, trying not to laugh, trying not to cry because it's that bad. Just a whole mix of just like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Yeah, so sure enough, the teacher is not having it. So goes over to Ben and is like, you're leaving my classroom now or I'm calling security to take you out. And Ben's like, I would like to see the security officers come and they will bow down to the Sigma. And the teacher's like, okay. Calls up security. He's like, kids refusing to leave the class, come down. So the 2 big security officers come down. He's like, I'm the Sigma male, gentlemen. I will let you off easy this time, and then the two like, not police officers, but the 2 like security guards literally pick him up and like start dragging him out. He's like, you put down the Sigma right now. It's mad disrespectful. Stop it. So no, like you, this is not how this works. And then the door closes and he's dragged down the hallway. So the teacher is like trying to like, all right, class, well, let's pick up where we left off, which is a little bit difficult because how does the class focus after that just happened? Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber Cameron's just sitting there and it's just like, wow, like, am I partially responsible? Like, could I have stopped that? Is there anything I could have done? Like, probably not in retrospect. I think Cameron was as equally a victim here as everyone else was, but wow. I guess the Sigma kid learned a lesson today, and that's stop doing everything that he's doing and seriously sit down and rethink your entire life. That is the lesson the Sigma kid learned that day. You can support the channel by watching another video by clicking one of the videos on screen right now or one in the sidebar, and peace.